Leading Age Minnesota. Leading change, changing lives.
The topic of this video is how to boost your effectiveness while caring for your customer, consumer, resident. Some basics that are really important. Eye contact, listening, doing what you say, and say what you're going to do. In other words, how often I've done it, said to a resident or somebody, "I'll be back in a minute." That is a lie. Almost never are we back in a minute. And if you have somebody who is waiting to go to the bathroom, they might be counting those seconds and going, they don't care about me because they weren't back in a minute. A better approach is to say, "I'll be back in 10 minutes. If you come back in 5, you're the hero." If you say back in a minute, that in the immediate gives them the notion you'll be back in a minute, but it almost never happens. So that's something to think about. The other is, I'm sure many of you watching this video at the end of your day feel fatigued, almost like you've run around all day long putting out fires. Like you're a firefighter. And if we think about firefighters, once there's a fire, their options are limited. I encourage you to think more like the fire marshal. How do we not have the fire in the first place? How do we not have the fire in the first place? For instance, peer-to-peer aggression. After you're done watching this video, if you're working in a community-based congregate living environment, look in the hallway and see how much clutter there is. I sometimes see it like an obstacle course, which is a recipe for unexplained skin tears, but also peer-to-peer aggression. When people are sitting in the dining room or day room, whether it be for meal or activity, we want to ask ourselves, we've got this resident who's rather aggressive and unsettled right now. Maybe we need to find a way to have him not sitting right next to two vulnerable people that can't defend themselves. It might be better to still have him or her in the activity that's going on, but have them in a place where a table is between them and others, a staff member between, or space. Thinking smart about those things. We also know, as I've said in other videos, hope, kindness, and respect are necessary ingredients for the fire marshal. The more that a resident likes you and believes that you like them, the less likely they are to complain to the health department, throw their urinal across the room, and on and on. We want to, every day, understand that customer service is critical. Now, one of the ways to think about this, anybody watching this video, if you saw a staff member, whether it be caring for somebody in the home or at a community-based environment, doing peri-care without gloves, it would catch your attention immediately. Why? Well, the current community standard for peri-care around universal precautions is wearing gloves. I'm sure all of you understand that and how important it is to have a barrier when you're doing personal cares because it's consistent with current community standards, and those standards are involved with universal care. What I've been talking about today in the videos is the importance of all of us recognizing that we have a responsibility to improve our customer service. If there are any leaders of facilities or leading organizations watching this video, ask yourself, have you ever walked down the hall and seen a staff member who did not have their customer service gloves on? In other words, they walk down the hall without smiling, without greeting residents, and it's like they're on a mission to do a task and avoiding the people in their way. Many family members and residents don't really know the difference between an RN, an LPN, a nursing assistant. They tend to call all of them nurses. As much as all of us like to see ourselves as being culturally competent and that we are watching our prejudice and biases, let's make sure we offer the same to our residents. In other words, we understand all of them have a life history. Many of them have a history of trauma. Many of them are closer to death's doorstep than their birth date. Many of them have some cognitive impairment. Almost all, if not all, have a chronic medical condition that's scary. And now we are intervening and becoming part of their solar system. If every day we understand the importance of me seeing myself as a medication, creating a positive side effect in the people I encounter, I'm more likely to have a higher hit rate, meaning a higher number of people I care for saying that they received good customer service. Good customer service means being kind. Is there anything else I can do for you? The more that we do this with our customers, our residents, the people we're caring for, our consumers and families, of offering hope and kindness and respect. And I keep using those three words, not because I believe you're not doing it, but I believe all of us can improve. And as soon as we believe we can't improve, we won't improve. If we believe we've tried everything, we won't try anything else. If we believe I'm the best at customer service on the planet, we won't improve. It is a very, very important concept that you every day see yourself as a medication. You put on your customer service gloves, and if you're in a leadership position, make sure you're holding your staff to the same standards around customer service as you do around pericare. It is very, very, very important. Another point. Remind yourself why you're choosing to do the job you're doing. Very important. Why do I get up and do what I do? I also encourage you to ask yourself, what unique qualities do I have that I could bolster, I could use, I could offer more often when I'm interacting with my customers? Asking yourself, what's underdeveloped in my interactional style? And that might mean being really honest with yourself. I need to smile more. I need to have better eye contact. When you're interacting with your residents, maybe you need to say, tell me more. How so? How long have you felt that way? Do you have hope that it can be better? How can I help you in this moment? I can't change the world, but I can help in this moment. What can we do together to make things better? Often people feel heard, and when they feel heard, they feel respected, and they equate it as kindness and respect as well. So all of us have overdeveloped skills and underdeveloped. If you're honest with yourself, like I often will say as an example of that, people would say that an overdeveloped skill of mine is that I did pretty well in school. Not in high school, but in college and graduate school. But you would never want me to put your grill together because it's likely never to work. So I have skills in some areas that are pretty well developed, but putting a grill together, fixing a dryer, fixing a car, my skills in that area are at the kindergarten level, very underdeveloped. We're all like that. Some people have better sense of humor, and on and on. So the more we can do these things, the better customer experience. This video series was put together as a way to enhance learning. And we believe giving people the tools to think differently help them to behave differently. Many people, when I'm out and about, will tell me about a consumer, a resident, that they quote unquote have behaviors. And I will say to them, well, blinking is a behavior. And usually when people are using the word behavior, it's like a medical conversation. If you say somebody looks sick, most nurses, doctors, nurse practitioners are going to say, well, what symptoms do they have? So when you hear the word they have behaviors, I encourage you to be more specific. What specifically are they doing, or what specifically are they not doing? And really making sure, just because we want people to do something different doesn't mean they're going to.